Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Richards. I'm the Business Enterprise Officer with Byron Shire Council. Welcome to today's webinar on the latest business support packages update from Service New South Wales for Business, and also regarding the Dine Discover program. We have some great guest speakers for today. Before I start, I'd like to start with an acknowledgement of country, and Byron Shire Council acknowledges the traditional owners of the land of the Bundjalung Nation and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Today we have Rose T from Service New South Wales for Business, our local business concierge, who will go through the latest business fees and charges update. And then we have Rose up on the screen. Hi Rose, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. After she's spoken about the business fees and charges, we'll take a quick Q&A, and then we'll move on to the Dine Discover program. Rose will go through how easy it is to, if you haven't already set up your business, what the latest news is on the Dine Discover program. And then we have some local speakers. We have Darren from Byron Bay Services Club, who will talk about how they've implemented the program for their Dine voucher. And then we'll have Sean Riley from Soul Surf School Byron Bay and how they've implemented the Discover vouchers in their business. So thank you to everyone for today. Over to you, Rose.
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, everybody. After discussions with Lisa, we're talking about the latest updates on assistance for our businesses, especially in the Byron Shire. I'm just going to share my screen. We will be talking about the small business fees and charges rebate and also the Dine and Discover program. Anything that is regarding off topic, I will obviously get to you after this session. So I'm just going to turn my video off and share my screen. Do apologise. So basically, Service New South Wales for Business makes it easier for our businesses by connecting them to what they need to start, run, adapt, recover and prosper. Service New South Wales for Business provides the following. It's one front door for businesses to access New South Wales government services, information and financial support. There's also information on services across local, state and federal government. And we also have regional staff who understand local businesses and can help them access services. Over the past 3 years, Service New South Wales for Business has rapidly expanded its customer base from 50 business customers to more than 240,000. I think with what's been going on at the moment, we have expanded massively statewide.
Sorry, Rose, we can't see your screen actually.
Can't you?
No, it looks like you might not. You're not on video, right?
There we go. Can you see it now?
Perfect, thank you.
Sorry, I'm used to Cherie doing the presenting here. So that's a little bit about Service New South Wales for Business. Also, where you can find us. So obviously the homepage of the Service New South Wales website, just go to the business tab. And that's where you will find things that's for our businesses. The website information is available in over 70 different languages, including Arabic, Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, Filipino, Korean, Greek, French, and German. Now, the fun stuff, the small business fees and charges rebate. This rebate helps businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19 and also encourages growth by reducing the cost of running a business. Eligible businesses or not-for-profits, including non-employing sole traders, need to apply for the rebate once, but can submit multiple claims until the value of $2,000 is reached. Now, when small business fees and charges rebate was first released, I think it was around April, it was $1,500, but our New South Wales Premier has increased it to $2,000. If you have already registered for the small business fees and charges rebate, you do not need to call us for the top up of the extra $500. It will automatically go into your business profile. Funds can be used to offset the costs of eligible New South Wales and local government fees and charges due and paid from the 1st of March 2021. The rebate cannot be used for fines or penalties, fees and charges that have the key purpose of discouraging behaviours, including behaviour changes, including Commonwealth government charges as well. So, for example, if you have a speeding ticket, if one of your drivers within your business was in a business vehicle, you cannot claim that one, unfortunately. Note there's only one $2,000 rebate is available for each ABN, and this rebate will be available until the 30th of June 2022. This rebate is probably one of my favourites because of the eligibility. There's not much in it. You just need to have a total Australian wages below the 1.2 million threshold 2021 and have an ABN registered in New South Wales or have a business physically located and operating in New South Wales. So that's the small business fees and charges rebate. What I'm going to do is show this screen, which is on our website, on how to apply. Now, with all the calls that we have been receiving from our businesses is what they can spend the fees and charges, what they can get reimbursed for. So if you go to our website, and obviously underneath the business page, you will find the small business fees and charges rebate in the popular pages panel. Now, if you scroll down, it does say here that these include but are not limited to, and straight away I see a lot of businesses think, well, I don't have a liquor license or I don't have a tradesperson license. This is not good for me. However, it is good for you because that's only a section of it. If you click here, you'll get the full list of eligible fees and charges. Now there's 37 pages. There's the local government, which will be your local council, which is the Byron Shire Council. And then you can see Liquor and Gaming New South Wales. There's also Roads and Maritime, Safe Work New South Wales, also New South Wales Fair Trading. For example, with spending, with claiming a reimbursement, I'll just use a little example there. So if you have a car registration renewal that you've paid for, well, we would reimburse you for the business use fee and also the registration fee of that registration. All you need to do is log into your Service New South Wales account, go to your business profile and make a claim through that. And you can make multiple claims as well, up to that value of 2,000. Any questions? No, that's.
Feel free to add to the chat if you prefer. Any questions for Rose? Rose, you've been let off easily.
I know. That's good.
And if our businesses, if you think of any questions as we go along, please add them to the chat. I'm sure we can answer them at the end.
Yeah, please do. And look, this is something that every business in our state, especially, Byron Shire, I encourage to please register because, this is any bill that you've received and paid for from the 1st of March 2021 to June 30, 2022. I'm sure there is a few invoices there that you've paid for that you can actually claim back. So, and that's money back into the business where you can spend elsewhere, like wages, for example, or other overheads. So that's extra money back in your pocket. Now I'll move across to Dine and Discover. Now the Dine Discover has been extended. Customers now have until 30th of June 2022 to use their vouchers. Existing Dine and Discover New South Wales customers will receive 2 additional $25 vouchers, one for Dine and one for Discover. New South Wales residents aged 18 years and over who have not yet applied for Dine and Discover New South Wales will be able to apply for the program until the 30th of June 2022 and receive all 6 $25 vouchers if eligible. And my purpose today is to encourage businesses to register, you know, not to miss out on this opportunity. And I'm sure, you know, our guest speakers will also share their stories on their experience with Dine Discover in our region. Now, Dine Discover, register your business. To register, you must have an active ABN. Ensure your details are correct on the Australian Business Register before registering. Operate in New South Wales. Be registered as COVID safe and have a COVID safety plan in place. Now, with changes occurring tomorrow, I know that the hospitality venues still need to have a COVID safety plan in place, and obviously their check-in, their COVID safe check-ins, etc. I just encourage every business. I just think you should have a COVID safety plan. So yeah, that's for the Dine Discover. Now you need to be operating in one of these eligible industries: cafes, restaurants, pubs, taverns, wineries, bars and clubs, scenic and sightseeing, transport, cinemas, museums, galleries, historic sites, zoos, botanic gardens, wildlife parks, nature reserves, live music operations, performing arts operations, theatres and entertainment, amusement, theme and water parks, recreational activities such as go-karting, indoor climbing, mini golf, billiards and bowling and ice rinks, and also outdoor adventures, travel agencies and tours. With the dine piece, for customers dining in and now buying takeaway meals. So that's another new thing that's come to light since this most recent COVID lockdown. Discover New South Wales, obviously for eligible arts, tourism or recreational activities listed in that eligible industry list above. They may be redeemed online for a physical event or attraction as well. So, and again, I've just got a note there. Takeaway businesses are now eligible to register for this scheme. So we do have a lot of takeaway venues in Byron Shire. I think last count, there's 60% businesses, that's including Dine and Discover in the Byron Shire, that have registered for this program. So hopefully, you know, we'll see an increase of businesses registering for the Dine and Discover, so they can have this money injected back into their business. Now, ineligible voucher activities, businesses cannot redeem vouchers for products or services involving alcohol, gambling or tobacco in cash, even if the full value of the voucher is not redeemed. Online services and food delivery orders also. Just a little bit more information. If you have more than one business, you'll need to register each one. If your business has more than one location under the same business name and ABN, you can add other locations in your Service New South Wales business profile after you have successfully registered. Now, I can definitely help anyone there because that can be quite tricky to get that all organised. After your registration is received, it will be reviewed by Service New South Wales and you will be notified of the outcome. This may take up to 5 business days. Service New South Wales will provide successful businesses with full details on how to take part and promote the scheme. Byron Shire is lucky, they have their own mobile business concierge that can also assist with that. You'll be able to keep track of your voucher payments to your business in your Service New South Wales business profile. Only the person who registered on behalf of the business will be able to access this information for privacy security reasons as well. Businesses must also comply with their COVID-19 safety plan at all times. Any questions? Sorry. No, I'm loving this.
I think there's a question in the chat now, Rose.
Yeah, who was that? Linda? Look, yeah, I'll have to discuss that with you after the program, Linda, because that's off the topic, anything regarding the JobSaver payments. Okay, Jody, you have a market stall. allowed to accept these vouchers at our food store at Byron Farmers Markets. Now, is it food to be consumed straight away? So if is it like a takeaway or like a, you know, like a it has to be something that you're cooking on site and people can take it away basically. But I would like to have a little chat to you after this, and we can go through exactly what's involved with your store, because there could be an exemption considered for you. Oh, yep. So Jodie, yes, definitely. You can definitely register for the Dine Discover program.
Any other questions for Rose? That's great for Jodie. We'll get another business signed up.
Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Anyone else with questions for Rose so far? Not yet. Well, maybe we'll hand the baton over to Darren, manager of Byron Based Services Club, to talk about his experience with the Dine Discover program. Thanks, Darren.
So have you got me there, Lisa?
I do. I can see you on the screen.
Excellent. Well, I don't have a, my presentation is not as flash as Rose's, but I'll do my best. It's probably not as long, but as Rose has pointed out, the whole Dine and Discover thing, it did sound a little bit complicated when we started it, but one of the most worthwhile things that we've done through this whole COVID thing. So everyone's got a lot on their plate. There's been plenty of changes. We're not a massive business. We've got 36 staff across our food and beverage and our gaming, our administration, as well as our contract cleaners. Our food operation, which is what the Dine vouchers relate to, particularly, we've got a turnover of about 1.4 million through our cafe, which we run 7 days, our bistro, but also our function and seminars department. So this lot of Dine and Discover vouchers will come out the second lot. 2 lots of $50, 25 for Dine, 25 for Discover. This is the second, obviously, instalment. We jumped on first off, I think it was in 2020 when they brought out the $100 vouchers for all residents of New South Wales. So we jumped on pretty much straight away. After 30 years in the hospitality industry, I figured that everyone likes something for nothing. So we were very excited to have this opportunity. We weren't real sure how it was going to work out for us. We thought it might have been a bit complex to get set up, but also for the patrons to use. But was very pleasantly surprised about how simple it was. The support we got through the registration process, and I was very fortunate. We had Rose helping us, the business here. The setup process was really just an extension of all the other bits and pieces we had to do when we're trying to get some of the government funding back through for job seeker, job keeper, all those sort of stuff tied in together. So it seemed a bit daunting at first, but it was very simple, and all the team at Service New South Wales, particularly, as I said, Rose was great. It was a very, very simple process. So as far as that side and getting it established, very simple. I was really hesitant, I suppose. A lot of our patrons during the day are elderly, really concerned how they'd accept. A lot of them don't have mobile phones, but they are able to get their vouchers printed. They took it like a duck to water, really, when they realised they were a chance of getting $100 in vouchers the first time for nothing, $50 for this second time. They've really been generated how it works. So it was really important for us that we got our staff on board and showed them how simple it was, and it really is simple. So for those who haven't used it before, you can get your vouchers on your phones. You can print them out if you wish. We've got a scanner here at our bistro till and our cafe till. So when people come up, place the order, it's processed like a normal payment, albeit we call it it's a Dine and Discover payment. We process the transaction, serve the meals, we scan the code that the individuals have, and then lo and behold, 3 to 5 days later, the money that they've scanned off those vouchers turns up in our account direct through courtesy of Service New South Wales and the New South Wales government. So all that has been, it's really been not a drama at all. I think we've all gone through the hard part now when it initially came out. A lot of the patrons, particularly as I said, the older ones, not too sure how to do it. Now they're driving the whole thing. This second lot, which has started back in December 1, I think it was, when these next lot of vouchers come out, it's our more established patrons, we'll call them. They're the ones coming in and asking, when's it start, when can we use it? So they've been a great driver. So the whole setup has been excellent. We did let all our members know, obviously we've got an advantage on many businesses, I suppose. We do have a big database of memberships. So in that respect, we've made a lot of the locals aware of how the Dine and Discover, the whole process, which was great. They've all jumped on board. That's probably helped some of the other businesses. We spent a fair bit of time with some of our members showing them how to get it on their phones, their vouchers, what have you. Obviously, we've got some advantage of that, and I'd like to think that some of the other businesses around town have been advantaged by that as well. That's been a great process. So I said they're driving. I was quite surprised during the influx of schoolers you had the last couple of weeks. They've been all over it as well. So in this second lot of money that's come through, the second lot of vouchers rather. So the younger kids as well as the others, so they're all using it. So there's plenty of money out there. It's been an undoubted success for us how it's worked. We've had over $42,000 in Dine vouchers redeemed through the club here, and that money in total has been paid through the government, through Service New South Wales. So, as I said, the only difference you notice is that when they bring their voucher in, you scan it, you don't get the cash and the time, but it's always within 3 to 5 days that the money does turn up in your nominated bank account. For any business that doesn't have it, it sounds like it's a bit of a hassle. It's really not, and the benefits are unbelievable. As I said, we've got $42,000 under this initiative. Through our pages, so it doesn't cost them a cent, and we've been the beneficiary of that. So it generates foot traffic and that sort of stuff as well. A lot of it's probably to do with the fact we did a lot of preparatory work leading to the first lot of vouchers, so we were able to get information out to all the members. Now it's been as simple for us this second time that we have signage at our point of sales and our entrance, just at our entrance rather. Just letting people know that we do accept the Dine and Discover vouchers and more than welcome to come in. So for us, it's been excellent. The big benefit, I think, to a lot of the smaller businesses who just might rely on takeaway, as Rose pointed out a couple of moments ago, it is now able to be takeaways. When I think this scheme was first introduced, it was only for dine-in, and I think they've now changed that so it is to takeaway. So it is, look, there's plenty of unclaimed vouchers out there. There's about to be an influx into Byron, into our area in the next little bit with the school holidays upon us. And obviously, certainly by the sound of things, colleagues I've spoken to down in Sydney, the Sydney people, Newcastle people who now can come up here, they're sort of fully across sort of the Dine and Discover. So they've had similar success stories to us. So if you've got some signage and you put it at the front of your cafe, your restaurant, it's certainly worthwhile because it's now a recognised symbol of the Dine and Discover. And people, I'm sure that people are coming into our venue here because we have that facility and we've let them all know. So as far as ease of use, very, very simple. There's been no pushback, certainly from our staff. They thought it might have been a bit burdensome. It's certainly not. It's simple as scanning. Not much different to when you tap and go to pay. So all that's been great, and it's been a really positive experience, the whole thing for us. So if anyone's got any questions, or Lisa or Rose want to add anything further, but from us, it's been a really simplified process, and hats off to Service New South Wales for helping make it like that. It's been really, really good.
Thanks, Darren, for sharing your experience so far. And fingers crossed, with coming to holiday season, we'll see more Dine and Discover vouchers spent locally and by those visiting the region too. So this is really quite a timely topic to get more businesses on board, and also to see how existing businesses are encouraging new business and being innovative with how they put packages together too. So thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Are there no questions as yet in the chat, but if any come to fruition in the next half an hour, or you can also email through to Rose or myself afterwards, and we'll do our best to get a response to you.
Yeah, and just off that, with what you mentioned, we've had that discussion that everyone's just received those 2 vouchers, the extra $50. We're going to have an influx of Sydney, visitors And also, you know, other regional towns, you know, I'm watching eight planes coming in a day. These people, if they're located in New South Wales and they're over 18, they're going to have those $50 vouchers, and we want them to inject it back into our businesses here in our region. So that was the whole purpose of having a quick meeting today and having both, you know.
Sorry, Rose, the one thing I didn't mention too, the $25 vouchers, they can claim under that, but we did a few packages together trying to get them to spend the whole 25. So we did a couple of specials at lunch where we did 2 meals for 25. So because they don't get change, obviously, much to their disgust, and they can't spread it out over 5 cups of coffee at $5. But we packaged some lunch deals up so it was buy 2 meals for $25, and also at night get a main meal, throw in a garlic bread. They were quite happy, and that's what we found, that probably 90% of our customers will then upgrade and spend the whole 25. So it's better in the business's pockets. Not that I don't trust the government at all, but we're better off to get the money as it's been offered and put into our coffers, I suppose. So that's just one thing that any other business who haven't registered yet, haven't used it. We had great success there. And I'd say 90% of our vouchers redeemed took advantage of the $25 off. So rather than just sell a meal for $20, we'd find a way to upgrade it and put a bit of garlic bread or a small dessert for $25. And when they saw that had a voucher for 25, and we say, listen, you're not going to get any change if you only spend 20. They'd look at upgrading, which was, we had some really good success. So that's just something that others might want to bear in mind as well. A lot of success with that.
And then they're obviously buying their drinks on top of that package, so the average spend per person increases as well.
Exactly right, yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks, Darren. Up next, we have Sean, Director and Owner of Soul Service for Byron Bay. Thanks, Sean.
No worries, guys. I'm just going to share my screen, so then I can just show a little slideshow that we guys had. I think, does that share the screen? Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. It's just loading. So basically I'm just here as well just to share our experience and maybe touch on a couple of little tricks of the trade that we use to encourage people to sort of promote the Dine Discover vouchers. So yeah, the basis of our business, we're a local surf school, but we also run bigger sort of surf and stay packages that cover accommodation, anywhere from private lessons, kids lessons, adult lessons, and we have a beach hire store opposite the surf club on Main Beach. So basically the main ways we sort of promoted our vouchers, people could use them in store. A trick that we used over the phone is we encourage people over the phone to text us a screenshot of the QR code and we manually put the voucher in. That was a good way we found worked. If people were, say, coming up from Sydney or Melbourne or wherever they were coming from, we would encourage people to use them over the phone and say, hey, look, can you just send me a screenshot of your code? But you only have a 15-minute window while that code's valid. So staff would straight away put the code in and then still charge their credit card the remaining balance of a surf lesson or whatever package they decided to purchase. So that was one way we used it over the phone. Because then we also had to make sure we had on our website that it was really clearly visible, that people knew that they could use it, because we've got a really good online booking system, but because the codes would only last a short period of time, we weren't able to process that through our online booking system. So we made sure we had lots of signage on our website that encouraged people to call through direct so they could still use online. And we found we got a lot more pre-bookings through our over the phone sort of thing, with people knowing they could use them over the phone and send through those QR codes. So that was quite helpful. It's been a really easy process. We're super lucky we've had Rose to sort of guide us through it the whole way, which is great. And she's been really accessible over the phone and has came in store and sat with our girls in the office and really helped us out, which has been good. Another thing too was staff training. I was really into our staff about pushing it in store. We basically used like a bit of a McDonald's format. Anytime someone came in, we'd also be pushing, hey, would you like to use Dine Discover with your purchase today? Just to get that through. And we'd also, a little trick that we would do is we would let people come in and spend money, and then then at the end of the purchase, we'd be like, oh, but do you want to grab a bike maybe for an, you can use an extra $25 on that. So they'd already made a purchase, but then we'd pushed it a little bit further and they maybe spent something on another product in store because to them it was free, but it helped us out because they came in to purchase what they were already going to purchase, but then on top of that, they'd spend an extra $25, or maybe they were in with a couple of friends and they'd all used it in one go, sort of thing, which made it a lot easier for us to sort of generate some more income during this crazy time. Yeah, so you can see on here how we marketed the program. We obviously got straight onto our web designer. We put that on. That was the first slider, so that was the first thing you basically saw on our website when you clicked on it, which was good. Like, and the feedback we got from that was really, really positive. In store, I know Service New South Wales had their own posters available, which was good, but we kind of made our own that sort of fit our business, which you can see in the middle. We had lots of posters in store and out the front, and obviously social media. Like, we're quite lucky. Our target market is the 18 to 35-year-olds, which they were all obviously very responsive to Dine and Discover. So we found that we didn't really have an issue with people finding it hard to use the system. If anything, it was really easy. We did a few sponsored posts with our social media and Instagram to promote that we were using Dine and Discover. And we were fortunate that all of our products obviously cost more than $25. So people were happy that they could take a portion off their package. What we also did was we have a guest check-in system. So anybody who comes in store to hire equipment, come on surf lessons, they sign in on a check-in system, and then we collate their data of their email. So later on down the track, if we want to spam them basically with a certain product or special we're running, we can. So that program is called Werewolf. It's a great system. What we did with that is we can then go back into the back end system of that, and we can pick out our target market who we know. So we could say we want Australians, we want to pick people from Sydney, Melbourne, the local area, and we want to send them information that they can redeem their Dine and Discover vouchers with us. So we also did that through MailChimp. We exported all of their emails into one big domestic folder, and then we were spamming them basically to use Dine and Discover and to promote our business as a whole. And we found that really worked really well. We've actually noticed a lot of locals using their Dine and Discover vouchers, which has been great. And it's also good too, because people maybe might not necessarily have come into our store to use it on our particular items, but we found because it's free, they obviously people love free things. Like Darren was saying earlier, so that seemed to work good as well and really tied in. So the main basis of our sort of push with Dine and Discover was making sure staff were really trained up in promoting it in store. Website was on point, social media, and then we also try to make sure that like I said, it was just promoted in store was the biggest one, I think. And online, if you can have that online presence with anything, I think now, and it makes it easier for the customer, that really helps. So thanks. Is that all done?
Great. Thanks, Sean. Really appreciate your time and for sharing these nuggets of wisdom with the crew. And it's I'd love to hear about your McDonald's format for upselling, training your staff on how to upsell, and also positioning your experiences and your hire for the locals, especially coming to the school holiday period. I think that's a great way of pushing a different arm of your business. So thank you. Really appreciate that.
That's fine. I think the biggest thing is too, if you can make people aware of it prior to coming to your business, so they actually know you have it before they come in, they plan to use it at your business. I think that's been a big thing as well. Like really promoting it before people get to your venue is really good too, because it might, sometimes people will save it up for your business. Like, we've had a lot of people come in store going, oh, we've been hanging on to our vouchers because we knew that you had it, kind of thing. And I think that's really important that people know before they come they can use it. Because if someone doesn't have the mindset that they can't use it at your business, I know a few cafes next door to us, they weren't interested in using Dine Discover for whatever reason, which but I just, some people might go to a different business if you don't have it. So I think it's really important to be on board with it, because you could potentially be costing yourself revenue because you're not signed up for it. And then a person goes, well, I can go down the road and get $25 off that product. if you're not signed up for it. So you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you're not signed up for Dine Discover, because your competition might have it, and if you're not right onto it, then you could be costing yourself even more money in a time when we all need to benefit as much from this program as we can.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean. Was there any questions from the participants? Feel free to pop them in the chat. Don't be shy. Or you can email them through to us afterwards. And we'll also have recordings sent out to all attendees today, and there are many more that subscribe to today's webinar. It'll also be available on YouTube too, so, and through our business newsletter. So thank you, Rose, Darren and Sean today. Really appreciate your time and input and sharing these bits of knowledge and with our peers in the business community. Just a last call in to see if there's any questions for any of our 3 guest speakers today. No.
If anyone is,
Yes, sure.
yeah, people are more than welcome to pop past our shop and ask our staff any questions, or even see our setup of how we've sort of promoted it too. We're just opposite the surf club on Main Beach, so anyone's more than welcome to swing past and see the posters we made, or chat to our staff about how we've promoted it and what seemed to work for us, if you want to see something firsthand.
I might take my voucher, Sean, and go and get a surfing lesson. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I can use the hashtag Rose. Rose on social media.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time today.
Yes, and thank you everyone for joining, and to our guest speakers. And we'll keep in touch. We'll send through the recording and let you know of future webinars early next year. Thanks again.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.